What's going on, guys? It's Greg from ECD, and today we're taking a look at the new Powell Pioneer 2 attack and defensive heads. So this is a company that is founded by the three Powell brothers, Ryan, Casey, and Mikey. It's pretty cool to see them making gear together because they're a great, iconic lacrosse family. I grew up watching Casey Powell and then Mikey Powell, and if you haven't seen the Mikey Powell highlight tape, but do you a favor and run a little bit of it, and the link will be in the description. You have to go check it out. So it's really cool to see that family now designing and creating lacrosse gear, heads, shafts, mesh, all together. It's a really cool family business, and they are all really talented players. So diving into this, you had the first Powell Pioneer released. That was the first head that they came out with. It was a really great head, had some really nice things about it, some things people didn't like so much. The one major detriment to it was just the stiffness level. It was pretty flimsy, but people loved the face shape. So now, moving into 2017, they released the Powell Pioneer 2 heads and split it out into an attack version and a defensive version. So let's start with the attack. Just looking at it visually, they did a great job of just kind of updating things throughout. You can see it's got the same general strut pattern, that signature kind of hole in the sidewall, but then going on the inside, they cored some of it out, updated some styling all around, gave it some cool details around the stringing holes, and mostly just some cosmetic updates there, a new shiny, really good looking ball stop that I love, and a little Powell logo there in the front. So overall, great job picking the look up, and the same goes for the defense. It has pretty much the same look. They just added another strut, shifting them up in the head to give it that extra stiffness. So on the attack, the biggest thing people loved was the face shape, and they definitely kept that here. You can see this is probably one of the most vertical and pinched face shapes in all of lacrosse, and now with the new rules, they're actually able to bring the top in even a little bit more. So this is more pinched and probably one of the most pinched heads on the market, and that's great to see since it is specifically for attackmen and not midfielders. So if you're an attack guy that likes to carry the ball, you want the most control and accuracy you can get, this is going to be a really pinched face shape for you that's going to work well. Looking at the stringing and kind of the bottom rail, it has a pretty general bottom rail, no real peak to it. It kind of gets down pretty quickly and stays level. So what that leads to is a good bit of pocket versatility. It's not necessarily meant for a low or mid or a high. It probably leads to a little bit more of a baggy pocket and lets the ball float around a little bit. So it's strung up really easily for us, just like pretty much all heads these days. It has a lot of holes. The face shape really contributes to that really nice defined pocket that has the ability to shift up. Since it's more narrow, you get a little less tension here, and the ball can shift up and load up under those straight shooting strings. So great strung pocket. Big shining point of this head is the face shape, and obviously going from the Powell Pioneer 1 to the 2 attack, they definitely made it stiffer. It's not the stiffest offensive head in the game, but then again, it is specifically for attackmen. So good stiffness increase. Definitely not the stiffest, but it's going to be stiff enough for you. So then moving into the defense, I think this is a really cool head. Similar kind of shape and engineering, 3 struts, and they adjusted the face shape. I want to say this is one of the more pinched defensive heads in the game. They say it's a pretty wide shape for ground balls and knocking down passes, but through the throat and the pinch goes up just a little bit higher than most heads. It's also a good bit less stiff than other competitive defensive heads. So I would kind of rank this as more of a LSM, aggressive defender, D-midi kind of head. It's somewhere in the middle. It's a little more pinched, it's a little less stiff, and a little lighter. So if you're the kind of guy that thinks you're more offensive minded or an LSM, this could be a good option where you're not getting a super wide, heavy shovel on the end of your stick. It's a little more streamlined. Obviously, they've got the rail. It's a little higher up, so you can string that higher pocket. But from there, pretty much everything is the same styling. So really cool defensive option that fits in a cool niche. And I think when you put the two of them together, they pinpoint a very specific player, which I think is great compared to the other stuff in the market. So overall, really good job going from 1 to 2. All improvements. They did a good job taking feedback, and obviously it's cool to get some heads made by some of the best players of all time. So you can get them at powelllacrosse.com. That's pretty much the only place you can get them. So links in the description. They're only $85, so it's like $5 less than you pay for competitive ultra high end. $5 isn't a lot, but it does make a difference, and it'll go towards buying a string kit or something. So thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to let me know what you think of the heads in the comments. Like if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't, and have a great day.